So lots of you asked for a video on creating backgrounds with your embossing powders. So I'm going to show you how we can do that. I'm going to be just sort of starting off with basic ones, and then I'll just show you a few other little things that I like to use to create backgrounds with. Okay, so let's start with something just really basic. Sorry, just moving my chair in there. I'm just going to go ahead with a piece of white cardstock, which is my WL Superior Smooth card. And I'm going to use, instead of that one, that was the WL Fern background stamp. I'm going to use this Scrunch one, just so we get little bits of colour coming through. So this is just a really nice background technique. You'll have all heard of it and you'll think, oh, it's boring. But for those of you that haven't, because I know there's quite a few new people, new to embossing anyway, this is called a resist technique. So let me just get lots and lots of ink on here, smush it down. And then flip that over and transfer all that ink. Now, I'm just using white cardstock. You could use any colour cardstock and then a clear ink over it, and then that colour is going to come through. Let me just pop that on there. So this is my clear gloss superfine. So I'm using a superfine one for this. If you saw my previous video, let's talk embossing, everything sort of becomes clear in that. Perfect. Okay, get that in there. And then I'm just going to heat set this. Okay, so what's really important about this technique is you want to make sure that you've heated it all, because we're going to rub colour onto there now. And if we haven't, then it's just going to pull that powder off. So just make sure. I think I might have a tiny bit there. Yeah, okay. So the other thing is we want to make sure it's cool before we start applying ink to it. So let me just do that. And then let's go. I do love me Catherine Paula inks. So we've got an Aquatini, green tea, and a Pucker Up. So let's go in with Pucker Up. Okay, and then just take some kitchen roll and then just rub it. And then wherever the clear wasn't, so the design, I'll trim it down, is your colours coming through. It just looks really interesting. It's a really nice way to do it. Really nice. Okay, so let me just move those out the way. Got to try and remember all the things I thought of. I wrote a couple of them down, but I haven't wrote them all down. I've got to try and remember now. Okay, so that's a really simple way to do a background. Just grab hold of a stamp, a stencil, anything like that. And do a resist on it. And then all these things I make and keep, and then I set aside for later, ready. Because this I might not use as a whole solid panel. I might cut out a circle from that, which actually I think that would look really nice. But yeah, okay. So let's just put that aside. So let's just go back to basics. One of my favourite ways of using an embossing powder as a background. And I know Jo, our social media manager, she does this every time she gets new wow colours. She inks up. You can either do it by pushing that in there or whoops, pushing that on there. I prefer a brayer, but she will do a solid panel of colour, which I think is a really great idea. One, because you can use it as a background, but two, you can then die cut from it. So you can actually do a little circle to go on your lid so you know your colour. Personally, I like to have all mine upside down so I can see my colours like that. Let's just do a quick, let's go for a bit of pea coat. This is beautiful pea coat. It's it was by Tracy Scott. Lots and lots of sparkle. She does love a lot of sparkle, does Tracy, but it's an embossing glitter. And look at that coverage, just gorgeous. Okay, let's pop that. Oh, I've got in a bit of a mess with this because I love this one as well. Okay, so heat from underneath. Okay, so there you've just got like a solid colour background, ready to use, ready to die cut from. Just lovely. Do your swatches from it as well, which is just really, really nice. So now, thinking about that, what we can do now is do that same thing, but do 3 colours. So we have our multicolour embossing going on, which you'll find me do a lot because I absolutely love it. So I'm going to be using Raspberry Cream, Lime Crush and Blueberry Pie. So let me just take all the lids off of these. These are lovely. They're all lovely. These are just a little bit different. So they've got like a mica in there, which is just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I want to cover the whole thing. I'm going to fill it all up. Lots and lots of ink. See, look, I've got sparkle all over it. I didn't clean me thing up. When I tapped off, I had glitter flying everywhere. Okay. There's glitter everywhere. Right, let's just... So, if you haven't seen me do this before, I literally just dump on the powders and then I flick it over. Yeah, so it just stays where I dumped it. And then let's take our second colour. Let's go a bit of Blueberry Pie. Same thing. And then I'm just going to flick this. Just wanted to make sure all the other colours were off. You can do this with as many colours as you like. It doesn't have to be stuck at 3. You could do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. Really, whatever. Okay. Let me just move these over and then I'm going to heat set. And that just gives a beautiful background. But one that I made earlier, and it's the same colours, but I've done it slightly differently, is this one. Because I've done it a lot lighter. I just sprinkled, like, see, I've been heavier. So this is the difference between dumping it on and just sprinkling lightly. And then I've gone and used, where is it? I don't know what I've done with it now. It's the Sizzix Tim Holtz. I'll do the link. I can't remember what it's called now. I've got it. I thought I got it out. Obviously I didn't. Oh no, it's sitting right in front of me. It's that one. So it's actually called, what's it called? Leafy Twigs. And so when you've got backgrounds like this, even if you think to yourself, oh, do you know what? I really don't like that. Just take a cover plate die and put that over the top, because then you're just getting little bits of it popping through, and it really changes it. Trust me, it really, really does. And then that's ready to just go now with a sentiment on there. Just ready. Sitting there. Okay, so what else was I going to say? Right, okay, so water. Water, you have to work fairly quick, because every time we do things, we often use an ink, yeah? You don't have to use an ink. Let me, I've got pea coat out. What else have I got? Oh, I've got some Oceanic. Let me just clean up. Right, so I've got Oceanic here, which is just a plain powder. And I am going to take some water and unscrew it, because what I want to use is this bit. So you could use, I have got the Tim Holtz splatter brush. In fact, let me just grab that. Okay, let me just pop. I don't know why I'm patting it. I always think I'm just tipping powder out all the time. So a little bit of water in there. So what you can do, take this. I'm probably not going to use this, right, because I'm pretty rubbish when it comes to things like this. But I'm just giving it a nice flick. And I'm going to throw my powder on. And then I'm going to heat set that. It is quite important that you heat set it as soon as, and you want to heat set it from underneath. That makes a massive difference. I've done what I shouldn't do, and what I'd tell you guys not to do. I got too close under there, and I started I don't know if you can see it on camera. I can. And I started turning it a little bit yellow. But what happens, if you heat from underneath, it starts melting it from the bottom. So it grabs that top bit. So once you've got most of that melted under, then you can go in. And finish off on top. Right, so that's using that little guy. So then these, I think, are just going to be smaller dots. We use the same Oceanic. So yeah, these just come out smaller, whereas I've got some quite big ones with the other one. Right, I must try not to overheat this one. Just give it a little flick. It's because I was looking out the window as well. So if you use the, I don't know what he even calls it, splat brush? I don't know. I'll find it and link it for you. But if you use that, you're going to get bigger blobs. And if you use something like this, which is just a water spray bottle, and just flick it like that, you get smaller ones. One thing I haven't tried Well, not with this bottle anyway. I'm just going to try it. Hang on. I think I'm going to have to work really, really quick though. So I'm just going to go off camera and just spray it. Okay, let's have a look what's going to happen there. Oh, I like. Okay, so I obviously sprayed more in one place than the other. I like that. I have done this technique before, but not with that little spray bottle. I've used a bigger one. Okay, my cards really curl. Okay, so because I've sprayed it, I sprayed it quite heavy in this area than in this area. And because of that, the water is making the card bend. Now, I know on a previous video, and I do apologise because I've forgotten the lady's name, but a lovely lady said to me when I was saying about the card bending with the water content, and she said use watercolour card, which I think is a fantastic idea. My only problem with that, I love bright white, and all the watercolour card I've ever seen is, it's a creamy white, it's an off-white, and I don't like the colour. So if anyone knows of a really bright white watercolour card, I'd be really, really grateful to know. But I really love that. So I could spritz again and put another colour on there and do that translucent this time. So it's going to sort of have this show through. I'm going to set that aside and let it sort of just come out. I'll stick something heavy on it. Okay, so that's, oh, picking that up now. That's with water. So there was another one. I'm going to just grab myself some cling film. Right, I've just got myself some cling film. I don't know what you guys call it in America. Is it, do you call it surround wrap or something like that? But you know what I'm talking about, yeah? So I'm just going to give it a little scrunch up and then open it out. And I do this technique in a few different sort of ways and with different things. Let me just give that a little spritz. And then I'm just going to put my card into it. Sorry, I'm just using this Oceanic all the time. I'm just grabbing it. I'm not showing you any other colours. Right, now this is, oh, that's like really subtle. Really, really subtle. So let me just heat it. Okay. Oh, I should have put my powder away before I put my heat tool on. I get too excited. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do, let me take my chartreuse, put the lid on that, and I'm going to do that again, because although it might look to you like there's hardly anything on there, there actually is. I can't rub this off, it's just give a really soft background to it. So let me just grab this. Now you can do it so that you spritz this and then lay it on top. I just did it the other way, so it doesn't really matter. You just want to get some creases in there. And then I'm just gonna so this might be heavier because I'm pushing heavier. We'll see. Let me just get my paper out. See, look, it's curling already. Oh, you can just keep building and building on this. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Means I'm going to have to find another colour now. So I'm going to do it again. This time I'm going to put some sparkly bits on there. So let's go with, I'm just grabbing, where is it? Oh, there it is. Cerulean. So this is an embossing glitter. So it's embossing powder with a glitter inside. So this time I'm going to push more into there. So same thing. I suppose actually if I do it this way, I can see where I'm pushing against. So I can get more on there. The poor old paper's thinking, stop putting water on me. Not paper, it's cardstock. But you know what I mean. Look at this colour. It's just so beautiful. Oh, honestly, these three colours together just look so gorgeous. Okay, so that came out so much heavier doing it that way round. I usually do it the way I first done it, where I spray it and then I put the card onto it. So I'm going to use a little bit more, only because I'm actually going to use this. So let me just make sure I've got none of the glitter on, because it'll all go back in this pot otherwise. So this one is the Oceanic. I think that's the first one I used. So I can't remember now. I think it was Oceanic. Okay. Let's bring this bit of paper back in, because I can spritz again on this and it don't matter. Get that out of the way. Oh. And then let's just go. Ta-da. Oh, seriously. Even before I've heat set it. And I know it's a bit cold, but that is going to dry and it will go flat. You can just stick it in a in between a couple of books. I would say iron it to go flat, but not with embossing powder on there. Okay, so that just looks... Maybe I will try some watercolour card, but honestly, that is just so, so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to put something heavy on that. Whether it's heavy in that, it probably isn't. I'm just using a jar at the moment, which is probably nowhere near heavy enough. I've got a bit of glass, but again, no. I need something really heavy to put on it, so it's not heavy enough at the moment. Okay. So, while I was doing that, I was thinking to myself, there was something else I wanted to do. And I thought, I can't remember now. Can't remember what it was. But I will show you. I'm going to need some more cardstock. One of the things I like to do is use things that, so anything that's see-through, whatever. So like a cookie cutter that's open, and then you can actually just pour powders into there. So let's just let's just go So this is acting like a template. Let's have a bit of, whoops, might have gone a little bit too much then. And you can always turn the thing around if you need to see if you're getting anywhere. And we'll have a bit of the raspberry crush. And then what we're going to do, we're going to carefully lift it. I just moved it slightly. So you think of all your shapes you've got. So if you've got cookie cutters, and you've got hearts, and you want something with a little bit of depth to it, rather than say like a flat stencil. Because you're going to be able to build on it. Because again, I've used no ink or anything. I've literally just gone in and piled it on. So whilst that isn't a full-on background, it can be if I die cut that. But I just think that looks lovely. Just really, really nice. And all that mica is sticking in there. It's just yum. Okay, so that's just using things like that. So while I've got that out, I'm just gonna, I've got some Elizabeth Crafts tape in 2 different widths. And this is a lovely way to make a background. I'm just going to get rid of that at the moment. And then I'll speed it up. All you have to make sure is go to the edge, like I haven't there, but I can just trim it off. And make sure your tape is a heat resist tape, because we're going to be putting embossing powder on this, so we want to make sure it's heat resist. Okay, so I could fill the whole thing up. I know I've said backgrounds, but a background doesn't mean the whole thing's got to be full. Because I like white space. I love white space. Let's just take all these bits off. Okay, where I didn't go all the way to the end there, because I'm a numpty, I can just go in and give it a little trim. You could actually go in afterwards and trim these into strips, and then put strips on the card. So strips of strips on card, if that makes sense. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pull off one at a time. And let's go, we'll have, we'll go Lime Crush, I think. I've probably shown this technique before, because you want to, oh, I done it with sparkles, didn't I? But you want to brush that off. And then, has anyone else had that happen to their Spellbinders doodah? I know I am heavy-handed. I must have been very vigorous with it. That's all I can say. So I'm going to go, I want something plain. So I'm going plain on my small ones. And then just rub that off. In fact, I might just do all my small ones in the Oceanic. I'm gonna go so go pink, green, pink. So raspberry crush, raspberry crush. I'm going to give that a push in because they've got mica bits in there. I should have done that with the green one, but it worked out okay. I'm just using my brush each time just to get that off. So like I say, I know it's not a background per se, as in the whole background, but it sort of is. But there's no reason why you can't just do the whole lot. Now this time, because it's got tape on it, it's not going anywhere, any of this stuff, so I can heat from the top. And if I can't find the Elizabeth Crafts tape, then I'll link up the scrapbook.com one. That just lifted a little bit there. I think I didn't push it down right. But, you know, you can just do loads of these, just do strips and strips and strips of these. And it's just, that's just gorgeous. I'm just using the same colours all over, but look, it just looks so lovely. Okay, so the other thing, I'm just moving all this aside so we can just do a little recap of what I've done with them. So one of the other things I like using is bubble wrap. This is for like a really quick and effective. And just get lots and lots of ink on there. And then I'm just going to go, just rub it. So it depends how heavy you rub it as to how much it's going to come out. See, I told you I like this technique. Doing the multicolour. It just looks great. And then I haven't used these colours for a while. That's why I'm sighing, because I'm like, do you know what? They're really lovely. I get inundated with colours. I get so many. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is my new favourite combination. Oh boy. Oh boy. I hope you stayed on, whoever was watching. If you got bored and went away, you've missed this. This is just so lovely. Right, let's put me lids on. Honestly, I got a little bit where I didn't go right to the edge and a little bit where I didn't actually press, but do you know what? It doesn't matter. But look, you can still see all the little bits of the bubble wrap. Okay, if you don't like that, then I'm sorry, but you just don't belong on this channel. That's really harsh of me to say. I'm sorry, but seriously, look at that. How beautiful. I don't even know what I want to do with this now, because I'm just like, I've never used those three colours together before. See, every day's a school day. Just stunning, 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 stunning. Okay, so I'm going to move on, and now I'm going to use some tissue paper. Let's just give that a little clean up. And I'm going to just take white tissue paper, and it is important to use white. I might as well carry on just using those three colours that I've just used. And it'd be interesting how they look with different applications. So what you want to do, you want to take your tissue, screw it up, open it up, screw it up again. We want it to be sort of just rough as such. And then we're going to open our ink pad, and we're going to push into our tissue, and we're just going to do probably a little bit more. I say a little bit more because I can see where the ink is. Okay, so I'm going to go just one colour. I love this technique, absolutely love this technique. And this is really important. You've got to heat set it in between layers. Okay, so let me put my lid on that one. Oh, look at that. Oh, no. Oh, do you know what? I've just had a thing come up saying I've got a low battery. But I'm hoping you saw that. I don't know whether it stopped or not. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Oh, right. I was going to show you another thing, but I'll have to show that another time now because my battery's just about to die. I hope that was all right. I hope you enjoyed that and you've taken a few ideas away. And you enjoy playing with your embossing powders. Thanks ever so much for watching. Take care. Bye.